Hello and Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, whatever you prefer. Thanks for tuning in again. This week we have Christmas, so of course it was quite busy. It was also quite busy work-wise, but let me catch you up on that in a few seconds. For now, as usual, I just say thanks for watching. Okay, so looking around, it looks like almost too dark to film already, but I will see how it turns out. I hope everything comes out quite okay. So this week was starting with me and my sister taking out my mother again to have a nice eat, which we do every 2 weeks, as you might know if you watch this program. And this time we managed to go into a Persian restaurant. Some restaurant that we were passing by, and it's very close to us for over 20 years. And every time I passed by there, I was thinking, that looks cool, I want to go there. But then I never had the time for it. So this week we planned to go there and then we went. Unfortunately, we didn't make a reservation because we went there at 1 p.m. and I didn't think that at that time we would need one. But only one table was free and that one had a little bit of a draft. It was right next to the door and the door didn't really shut that tight. So every time it opened a little bit, we had a draft and then it never closed completely. So that was bothering a little bit, especially my mother. But I have to say the food there more than made up for it. So it was quite delicious. And I'm happy that we went there, even though we were sitting in a draft. It took me almost 30 years to check that restaurant out, but finally we did, and it was a good one. On Monday I really tried to be a good boy and get out for a walk, but well, just take a look. Well, after complaining so much the last days that I need to conquer my inner Schweinehund, I today tried to get out because I had some minutes in between where it's still light outside. But it's a little much, you know, so I almost wish it would be below zero because then it would be a light snow. But now it's raining again because we have 1 degree over zero. However, on Tuesday then I was able to venture out. It stopped raining and or at least it didn't rain that much. And I headed over to my sister. So over the Christmas holidays my sister is visiting my nephew and my niece and have a nice time over there. Reconnecting a little bit because she wasn't over there in quite a while, and that makes me the dedicated cat caregiver. So I am on my way now to head over there to get some instructions on what to do with the cat and how to clean up and stuff like that. And as you can see, after last week was quite cold, right now it is actually quite mild, you know. It made a temperature jump of about 10 degrees up. There's no snow, as you can see, lying around anymore. And that is supposed to stay like that for the next 2 weeks or so. Let's see. Afterwards, I was checking out several supermarkets and discounters to find some decent goose legs, because in Germany it is tradition to have goose legs for Christmas. And I was trying to find some that are not the smallest, but everywhere I went they were quite small or quite expensive. But I guess with the expensive part I had to live, because this year they almost were double in price because of everything that went on, as you know. So I did not manage to find some that were in the size that I wanted. So I just had to basically buy everything else I needed for the Christmas feast, but that was about it. On Wednesday I also went out for a little walk and also combined it a little bit with shoppings, but this time more for essentials, because the Christmas feast stuff I mostly had covered the day before, except for the actual goose legs. But on Wednesday I also found those, at least in a solid size. They were not as big as I wanted them to be, but well, they were nice enough. Let's say it like that. And also I really enjoyed the walk because the weather was quite cool, as you can see. Wow, today as you can see it is quite foggy, but the air is really nice and the temperatures are also fine. So I'm wearing my big jacket, my warm jacket, but I didn't have to close it, so that's always a good sign. So let's enjoy a little bit more of my walk today. Thursday I also went out, and I have to say this week I actually went out to walk a lot. And I also did the final shopping for the Christmas feast because I decided to just get some fresh goose legs. They were a little bit bigger than the frozen ones. Also, of course, a little bit more expensive, but I said this year, hey, they are so expensive anyway, why not go for it? So I bought 2 of them, one for me, one for my mother, because I invited her to come over for Christmas. My sister, as you have heard, was heading over to my niece and nephew and spent the Christmas holidays over there. So I didn't want her to be alone, so I invited her over. However, my walk was cut a little bit short because, well, I honestly tried to do my daily walking, but the rain is now just getting too heavy and I can do nothing more than just finish up my shopping for everything I need to cook the Christmas dinner. But that should be it for today. So the temperatures currently really are quite okay, but it is just always raining, which is a pity. Friday was quite complicated because I had so much issues with my computer for some reasons again. I had to reboot it several times until I finally was able to fix everything and got everything back to work normal again. And after that was done, I just told myself, let's get out for a walk. And I enjoyed it again, and I had quite a nice one. And as you might know, I've come across a lot of squirrels here in the graveyard over this year, but of course now that the temperatures are dropping, they are seldom to be seen. It is not unheard of, they will come out here and there if they need some nuts or something like that. But right now I haven't come across one in like a week or 2. But today I came across a fox. And he just came out of the bushes like 3 meters in front of me, and he was like, "Hm?" And I was like, "Hm?" And we looked at each other, and for a few seconds, like 10 seconds or so, that went on. And then I just gestured to him that he might go, and he actually did that. And then I followed him and took a quick video of it. And I was really happy that the fox looked well fed. Not that I would have been afraid of him. I mean, I have respect for wild animals, but I didn't fear him. But I was really happy because now that it is winter, if he would have looked as thin as the one I've seen a few months ago, then I would have been worried that he might not make it. Hopefully it was even the same one who just was able to now feed up a little bit on everything that he found so far, and that he is now ready for winter. Of course, then yesterday was Christmas Eve, and as I said, I had my mother over and I was in charge of cooking, as I did last year. And last year I think my goose leg was quite coming along well. This year I think it was a little bit better overall, though I cooked it a little bit too long, and at the end I had too little liquid in my frying pan or in my cooking pan in the oven, so that it caramelized a little bit on the underside, on the underbelly. So it still was tasty. It actually added a nice flavor, but it's not what I planned for. Let's say it like that. Let's see how the next one will turn out. And afterwards we spent some time playing cards over some sweets, which brought Christmas Eve to an end. So of course this brings us to Sunday, and today is weighing day, as you know. And after the feast that I had with a nice goose leg yesterday, I was a little bit afraid to step on the scales, but to my surprise I actually lost quite a lot of weight. 1.6 kilograms since last week. But last week, of course, as you might remember, I had some issues with adjusting to the new Weight Watchers program. I also might not have stuck to it as firmly as I thought due to some miscalculations with the points. But this week, I'm quite surprised, but also I am very confused by the fact that my body mass index was going up a little bit with the body fat raising and the muscles getting down a little bit. Though this week I was walking much more than last week, and that just brings me back to the theory that maybe muscles are being built with a little bit of a delay, and maybe that is the reason why this week nothing much happened, and maybe next week, no matter what I do, the muscle mass might be raising again. I'm just saying, come on, I walked a lot this week and my step count is adding up to 20,814 steps, which brings me to a daily average this week of 3,859, which is quite solid. Okay, with that all being said, I mean, today is still Christmas and tomorrow is the second day of Christmas. So I am curious on how that will play into my weight, because of course there is another goose leg waiting for me today and tomorrow. This is tradition in my family. I'm not sure if that is something everyone is doing in Germany, but we are having them on all 3 days, Christmas Eve, first and second day of Christmas. So, as you might remember, a few weeks ago I was hurrying home because I was not sure if I have left a pot on the stove and was running home then. This week I'm sitting here recording this, then I will head down for 1 hour of walking, and all the while at home I have my goose in the oven and it will wait for me. It will be ready when I come home. But it's really nice to, this time around, actually have it planned to be in there while I'm out here. So all that is left for me to say is Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you prefer. Have a Happy New Year that is also coming along very soon. I hope you have a fantastic time until then and until we meet again. And I hope we see each other again so that you are tuning in next week. Until then, I just say thank you for watching this one and wish you all the best.